Happy 4th of July, everyone in the United States, and welcome back to the Peepo Coin channel, XRP holders. I hope everyone has an amazing long weekend. Guys, have a look at this. Take a look at this. 10,000 Bitcoin was recently transferred from a Dartmouth wallet that hasn't been used in over 14 years. For the first time in more than 14 years, all of the Bitcoin that was in its wallet has been relocated. And you know what it is currently equal to? $1.01 billion. $1.01 billion. Bitcoin, which was once valued at about $7,800, was just 78 cents each when it was first added to the wallet. Just wow. Well done, whoever it is. This is madness, as if it were crazy. This has to do with the larger market, even though I am aware that it has nothing to do with XRP. It truly demonstrates your beliefs, doesn't it? Bitcoin was non-existent at the time. The majority of individuals were aware. Even if we don't fully understand where this currency is headed, we're still making educated guesses. But these early adopters who did take that chance are now billionaires. Wild stuff all over again. Let's dive straight into the update, though. In fact, we have witnessed a regression this weekend if you look at everything at once. It goes without saying that the U.S. market is affected by the closure of CME futures. Because CME futures are closed, you do see more manipulation, you know. Additionally, there has been a slight reversal. You guys will be perplexed when I show you the Bitcoin charts. Although Bitcoin hardly appears to have experienced a significant retracement, many other coins are experiencing a 5 to 6% decline. However, as I mentioned, everything will make more sense if I take off the charts. Over the past 4 hours, XRP price has dropped by 1.6% in relation to both Bitcoin and the US dollar. The 24-hour trading volume is approximately $3.03 billion, and the market capitalization is $132 billion. Before we continue, though, let me just quickly clarify that nothing on this channel is financial advice. When you are not investing in cryptocurrency, always conduct your own research and due diligence. Thus, ETF movements around 600 million Bitcoin and 148 million Ethereum were purchases made on July 3rd, demonstrating once more that smart money isn't waiting. This man is the epitome of it. These guys are joining regardless of the situation, therefore perhaps they are buying. Rise quickly because they obviously have greater control the more Bitcoin they possess. Can you guess what these large asset managers are looking for? They desire as much authority as they can. As a result, they are joining at an extremely rapid pace. Going forward, the SIFMA and the SEC Sport Task Force met today. Tokenized securities and digital asset issuance are among the subjects covered. You might wonder, who is SIFMA? An important trade group for dealers, brokers, investment banks, asset managers, and so on. Read this agenda to learn more about TradeFi and DeFi's merger, which will initially transform the banking system and the financial services sector. Tokenized securities and digital commodities are traded, and the issuance of digital assets is visible. We are witnessing significant events. Products regulated by the SEC shouldn't be allowed to be sold directly to consumers. For digital assets, it might be acceptable to modify the current disclosure rules. There should be less direct retail involvement in the trading of commodities and digital securities. So essentially, kind of talking about how this is going to develop in the future. Looking ahead, Singapore is still at the forefront of blockchain innovation, and Ripple and Tinty Global are about to develop an XRPL accelerator program to help startups and builders around Asia Pacific. Raw tokenization, institutional DeFi, AI+, and up to $200,000 in funding are the main topics of this 12-week program. As we have said many times, these men are giving back to the innovators and builders, and they are not only doing it in the United States, they are expanding all over the world, and that is taking place just in front of us. These men have been building for a very long time. Currently, within the past 12 to 18 months, you have seen the Western world begin to take an active interest in and accept cryptocurrencies. However, prior to then, construction was taking place all over the world, and here is a prime illustration of that. You can observe this for yourself as well. I apologize, but Senator Luman's introduction of her digital asset tax proposal demonstrates her desire to change the OB. This is what it's talking about in the lovely bill that was recently enacted. As you are aware, $300D was included in the provision, which reduced the exemption. Tax priority for lending. Wash sales, mark-to-market treats cryptocurrency like stocks. No appraisal required for crypto denotations. And you won't be subject to taxes on minor personal transactions or double taxation for miners and stakers. It's unclear where this measure fits in now that the OB is passed, although it might eventually be included in a larger package because it would probably be difficult to pass it alone. Additionally, perhaps launch a larger-scale onslaught on exemption. We discussed the bill. What it does is that small-cap firms will gain a great deal from it. And it goes without saying that I think small-cap companies will be receiving a lot of attention at the moment. We need to take a different approach since coins are not stocks, but I believe there should be some kind of cryptocurrency program that is integrated into this where it may be advantageous. And since Donald Trump has been speaking so favorably about the digital asset market and how he wants a Genius Act to pass, along with all of the measures that are already passing, I believe that something is in the works. Naturally, it makes me wonder if something similar will ever happen. Taking place in the near future. Moreover, look at this. In order to interact with more sizable financial institutions that will influence the development of the payment infrastructure in the United States in the future, Ripple was chosen to participate on the steering committee of the Federal Reserve Faster Payments Task Force. This has also been recorded, and have a look at this. It's time to revisit the past. Take a look at what Brad Grillinghouse posted on May 23, 2024. This is definitely my all-time favorite among the XRP community, and I've been holding on to it for a while, for whatever reason. I've had it hanging on my home's wall, but I wanted to share it because of the market's recent surge. But it's basically this: XRP will power the planet one day. Stop laughing. Additionally, the price of XRP was between 30 and 40 cents, possibly even 50 cents at this time. And take a peek at its current state. I would like to remind everyone, $2.23, and I have no doubt that there are many people who would choose to travel back in time. In fact, let's travel back in time. Let's travel. Since I'm currently interested in learning more, let's see where the price of XRP was in May 2024. Now, let's look at XRP. Let's go ahead and have a look. Where are the May lads now? Yes, we were around 50 cents. That's about 50 cents, give or take. And have a look at where we are at the moment. And at the time, we were in the bear market zone. To put this into perspective, we are currently up around 325% from May of last year. As I mentioned, many people probably wish they could return. I sincerely hope that anyone who is going to publicly state that XRP is struggling considers it from this perspective. However, take a look at the dominant situation. The wider market is currently being impacted by this significant uptick in dominance. The market as a whole is declining as a result of Bitcoin's slight decline, which was nothing spectacular, as I mentioned, even less than a percentage retracement. This significant surge in dominance is the cause of the 5, 6, or even 10% pullback that we are witnessing for many coins. And given the potential consequences, you don't want to be seriously ignoring this. However, everything is going okay so far, as I can see. I adore you all. I appreciate all of your help.